No, I mean, still just right there.
Hi everybody, this is Vision here. I'm Kenyatta Taylor.
I'm Andy. I'm Lincoln.
And I'm Dave.
Yeah, we're so excited to be together once again. We just came together this time to pay tribute to a great man, one whom we call a leader among leaders, Dr. Myles Munroe, and his wife.
Well, you know, for me, I must say, words such as leadership, power, purpose, vision, fulfillment, assignment, these words will never have the same meaning that they had prior to me meeting Dr. Myles. I mean, he has totally just changed even the meaning of those words to me, you know what I mean? He was the one person that I think we all could call daddy as a group, you know what I mean? That's one thing we all agreed on when it comes to someone we look up to as a group, being our father, was Dr. Myles Munroe. And I mean, I remember one time in particular, something that changed my entire, you know, outlook on life. I generally try to be a good person, try to treat people well. And one of the things that has totally changed my life is I remember asking him one time, you know what I mean, Dr. Myles, how do you balance it all? How do you balance your schedule? I mean, I know you're getting calls from all over the place. How do you balance it all? And one of the things that he said to me that still sticks with me right now, even in business, is, you know, in life you have to be careful. Don't get caught up in life doing good things and not the right thing.
Wow. I think other than my father, he has had more effect on my life than any other male. You know, he put his stamp on our album. You know, when I got a chance, 3 weeks before he died, I went to his church. He was talking about how Oral Roberts put his stamp on Miles' book, which caused him to excel because, you know, no one knew Miles at the time. And he did the same thing for us. He put a stamp on our album. Not only that, he took us on tour with him. I got to see the world. I got to see how big this man was. Before, as a Bahamian, and many Bahamians watching this, they thought that Miles was just a preacher who went to other churches in the U.S. and preached. That wasn't the case. This man was, you know, a celebrity. You know, he was a mega preacher. To go in Brazil and see, you know, the major facilities he preached in, and we saw, you know, how much the people loved him. And I had, you know, a first experience that humbled me. You know, a lady, after we sang, a lady came to me, and she brought her son. She had her son there, and she said she wanted me to lay hands and pray for him because he had epilepsy. And that was so humbling for me because there were so many big preachers from all over the world there, and she found me in the entire crowd and asked me to pray for her son who had epilepsy. You know, and to be honest with you, I almost panicked, you know, because I never experienced it before. And I said, Sean, let's pray for her. You know, and Sean is never timid with that kind of stuff. And Sean just grabbed the boy's forehead and, you know, started praying. And Sean is you. Sean is Kenyatta. You know, and that was, you know, one of the most powerful experiences in my life for me. And I just want to thank Dr. Myles for. And like I said, I got to thank him before he died, and I want to thank him and the rest of the world. Let me thank him for what he did for us in our lives. You know, the last thing I want to say, you know, a lot of people are distressed, and, you know, some people are saying, oh, you know, it was such a tragic death for a powerful man of God. You know, but, you know, Dr. Myles lived what he preached. And exactly what happened is what he preached. He taught us that when you expire, you die. He said you have a vision, you have a purpose, and when you're finished, that's it. No matter who you are, that's it. You know, and to be honest with you, Dr. Myles, all of us know that he wrote over 100 books, you know, 30-something bestsellers. There are not many people who can say that they have 30-something bestsellers. You know, not many people in world history can say that. You know, he lived And he lived his life to the fullest. And then he died. What did he teach us? He taught us that when something expires, what happens to it? You throw it away. It goes in the junkyard. Two things goes to the junkyard. Something that doesn't work and something that expires. Dr. Myles was finished. And he wants us to celebrate his life. I mourned for about a week, but now I think it's time for us to celebrate the life of a great man who influenced us more than anyone else.
If you use the death of a person to be depressed as a church for 10 weeks, you have brought a disgrace to God. I told you your months are numbered. I told you your days are numbered. I told you you are like the wind, like the flower that appears and gone tomorrow. I told you that. Nothing happened. Why you bent on a shake for 6 weeks? Because you didn't expect it. You didn't believe me. He said, I told you these things so that you will not be offended when they happen. I've been to my own funeral. And by the way, I already saw who was there. You better be there. And I made a deal with myself. If anybody come to my funeral without wearing a bright color, I'm going to get up out of the casket, walk to you, slap your face, go back in the casket, lay down, and die again. I'll hide you for 3 weeks. I want colors. Yellow tie, pink socks. I want blue shoes, red skirt. Y'all don't come in no black. I can hide you. I'm telling you, I'm going to get up, say, you, take that off. Why? Because this is a good experience. We're going back to our government. We're being recalled for our reward. The government is saying you've done a good job. We don't mourn as those who have no hope. You know, when the folks was at the funeral that Jesus went to and they started crying, you know what he did? He put them out, the Bible says. So y'all don't want me to get up and put y'all out.
Well, probably a little older than
Much older.
and I can remember the very first time I ever heard about Dr. Myles was actually as a singer, as a musician. I was a little boy growing up in Exuma, and we had a 45. And a 45 is a record. You know,
Yeah, record. Yeah, you know.
I don't know.
Lincoln don't know what a 45 is.
We'll show you.
You know what a cassette is. You know what a cassette is.
Anyway, so we had this 45 at home with the song Brand New World, and on the flip side I think it was Living with Jesus on the other side.
That's right.
And that was the first time I ever heard of Dr. Myles. But what made it even more, I guess, personal for us is that these were Bahamians performing at a level in terms of musical performance that I had never experienced before. And the song in itself was a very powerful song. I'm talking about 30 years plus ago. And I was amazed by it. And so that was my very first experience with Dr. Myles. And my mind was always on the song Brand New World. Always. I mean, I was always in my mind, gosh, this is such a beautiful song. I've never heard anybody else doing it, and why can't we do this song again? And I spoke to Polka and said, Polka, man, why don't we do something with the song?
Polka being Dave.
Polka being Dave. And being the type of person that he was, he very he's a business person, knows how to make the contacts and all that. He went out and he wrote a letter to Dr. Myles, and obviously the rest is history. We were able to get the approval to do the song, and I was elated that we were, as a group vision, we were able to get together, do the song in a way that I think does a little bit of justice to to an original of Dr. Myles. And when I think about how much that song impacted me growing up, persons of my generation growing up, and to see how the song today is impacting so many other persons who are this generation, to me, I think the greatest impact is that Dr. Myles allowed God to use him to write that song that is able now to not only live past him, but live into the future. And persons now are able to experience what God wanted to say. I'm in a state of peace, really, because I think that Dr. Myles did what he came into this world to do. And I don't think that we need to be sad about that. I think it's a message for all of us that, listen, let's do what we came here to do. Don't waste time. Life is short. We're not promised a whole lot of time. Let's get busy with what God has created us to do. Let's create this brand new world, man.
And one of the things I really loved about him too is that he loved his family. He loved his wife, Ruth Munroe. I'm telling you, as we travel with him, we see the way he treated his wife, and the love that he displayed publicly was amazing. We know the things that go along in the church circle today with pastors and their wives and what's not, but Dr. Myles Munroe was truly an example, a man who loved God and who loved his wife the way Christ loved the church. And we cannot, I could not sit here and not give acknowledgement to that.
For sure.
And yes, Dr. Myles Munroe was a great example even for marriage couples.
No doubt.
I also want to say to his kids, Charo and his daughter, we want to say to you, thank you for lending your father and mother to the world.
That's right.
Being in ministry isn't easy, and trying to balance ministry and family sometimes could become frustrating because, sometimes family don't understand. We want to say to you guys, thank you for understanding, for lending him, this great man, this great leader, to the world to do what God has called him to do. And that's all he was doing, He was simply doing what God called him to do. And we want to say thank you to him. He's gone. He's not passed away like Lincoln says. He's passed on.
Yes.
His government has called him.
Yes.
To say, well done, thy good and faithful servant. That's the most important thing. Before we leave, we wanna honor God and sing a little, sing one of the songs that Dr. Myles Munroe wrote. How many years ago now?
Right now it's about 40 years.
Before Lincoln was born.
40 plus years now. Yeah, that's right. Back in the early 70s.
When we sang the song, I had never heard it in my life.
Yes.
Wow.
And it's so amazing that our generation got to hear this song because Dr. Myles Munroe gave us permission to do it again.
Correct.
Yes.
Otherwise, a lot of our generation today would have never heard it.
That's right.
And the song is as relevant today as it was back then.
Yes. And so it'll be 40 years from now.
Wow.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
Definitely.
No doubt.
Definitely.
So,
that's it, guys. We may be a little rusty, but we'll get to it. We don't like the way the world is turning. Andy was telling me that key was too low. And Lincoln was saying that was too high. So I got to do a different key.
Better believe it.
We don't like the way the world is turning. Something inside is always yearning. Yearning for a brand new world. And people everywhere are so confused. Leaders don't know what to do, no. Oh, how we want a brand new world, yeah. Though we send rockets to the moon and the stars, and though we make ships and planes go very far, oh my, there's not a mountain that man hasn't climbed, oh no, but a brand new world he could never find. So, if you want a brand new world, you gotta have a brand new people. And if you want a brand new people, you gotta have a brand new life. Oh, if you want a brand new life, you gotta have a brand new spirit. And if you want a brand new spirit, you gotta come to Jesus. Say it again now, say it again now. If you want a brand new world, yeah, you gotta have a brand new people. And if you want a brand new people, you gotta have a brand new life. Oh, if you want a brand new life, you gotta have a brand new spirit. And if you want a brand new spirit, you gotta come to Jesus Christ.